Hey guys, one of the most fascinating drawings that I enjoy doing is the simple cup. And so the reason I like this drawing and would like you guys to look at it and encourage you guys to, follow suit and practice is because it introduces you to how to use a plane and how to use the sweep tool. So let's get started. Okay. So for this drawing, I'm going to start out. Of course, always check your workspace units. In this particular drawing, workspace units, I'm still working in millimeters, but I've changed this to kilograms. So make sure you change that to kilograms. I would like you can work in 3 point decimal here. That's okay. We'll go with 3 point decimal. And so I'm going to get started. I'm going to start out with a sketch on the front plane. Okay. And I guess that's good. So we're going to go face to normal with that. I'm going to start out with a construction line here. So let me just quick construction line there. Okay. And going to go back and get my line, just activate my line tool. And I'm going to start right here at the origin. So I'm going to draw a line there. I'm going to draw a line there. I'm going to draw a line here and end it there. I'm going to come down here and begin again with another line. I'm going to come up a little bit, slant that a little bit here. Okay. And that's good there. Going to grab my arc tool, my 3 point arc. Okay. Let's see, 3 point arc. Gonna click at the beginning, click where I want it to end. Okay. And I can just kind of, just a little, that's good there. Okay. So let me deactivate the arc tool and let me start dimensioning. So my first dimensions, I'm going to go from line to line here. Make sure the lines are highlighted. When you do that, that's 100 millimeters, sorry. Enter. And bring that back into view. Okay. I'm going to dimension from here, from this point to this line, and that's going to be 40. And, okay. So I'm going to dimension my arc. Going to dimension that at, let's see, I think that arc is going to be, I think that arc, yes, that arc's going to have a radius of 90. Okay, enter. Doesn't look much like a cup at the moment, but that'll change in a few. So just um, just hang in there with me and we'll see. So I'm going to go from this point. I'm going to click on the center construction line here. And on this side is a radius. On this side is the diameter. I'm going to put in a diameter of 125. Okay. Enter. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to go from this point. I'm going to click on my construction line and put a diameter in here of 75. Okay. Enter. Okay, so now we begin to see our cup shape once again. That's great. Okay, before I get started, I'd like to create a relationship. So I'm going to deactivate the dimension tool. I'm going to create a relationship between this line and the arc. I'm going to create a tangent relationship between those two. Okay, so great. Everything looks good so far. So I want to create a thickness to give my cup some thickness. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use my offset tool. So I'm going to select this curve. I'm going to select this line, and I'm going to select this line. Okay. And then I'm going to select my offset tool. Okay. That offset is actually going in the wrong direction. I'd like for it to go inside. Okay. There we go. Once I get that selected, I'd like to open that up and change this dimension, this offset dimension, to 6. Okay. Enter. Okay. So that's looking a little better there. So we can see that the lines have all turned black, except here you notice there's a point here that's still blue. Okay. So I want to deselect the offset tool, and I want to select that point. Okay. And I want to select this line, and I want to create a relationship here, a coincident relationship. Okay. So I'm going to select coincident. You can see that it's no longer blue and it's connected there. So I want to go down here and kind of do the same thing. Let me move that up. I'm going to open that up a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. So you can still see there's a little blue line, a blue dot there, a little blue point. And I just want to click on that point. I'm going to select that point. I'm going to select this line. Okay. And I'm going to, again, coincident, just to make sure that point and that line are coincident. And that looks good to me. Okay, I'm going to bring everything to fit. Okay, so everything looks pretty good. Okay, I like what I see. So I'm going to bring that over a little. Okay, so I guess I'm ready to revolve this. So what I'll do is I'll click the green box there. Fit that into an isometric. Okay. And I think I just would like for you to see it from this standpoint. I'll open it up. Okay. And we're going to revolve this shape here, this sketch. So I'm going to click the revolve tool. Faces and sketch regions to revolve. We're going to revolve that region. Okay. And we're going to also revolve this region where the offset was created. Going to revolve that region as well. So you should have face of sketch 1 twice in there. Okay. And the revolve axis will be this construction line here. Okay. So there we go. So we're looking better. Looks more like a coffee cup shape to some degree there. So I'm happy with that. So let me click the green box here. So probably the most complicated component of creating the coffee cup is adding the handle to the coffee cup. So we're going to actually start by creating a sketch. Okay. I'm going to create that sketch again on the front plane. Okay. And I'm going to name this sketch, I'm going to name this the path. Okay. And you'll see later why I decide to do that. Okay. So that's going to be the path. Don't click on anything at this point. Okay. And then I'm going to try to bring this sketch to normal. Okay. So what I want to do at this point is I'm going to kind of bring that down a little bit. I want to create a sketch for the handle, and I'm going to do that by grabbing my line tool, and I'm just going to kind of start here. I'm going to actually draw out a line kind of perpendicular to that. I'm going to sketch that and gonna end that line right there. Okay, I'm gonna click just to make sure I end that. Gonna deselect my line tool. I'm gonna select this line, and I want to change that to a construction line. Okay, great. Click out here. Gonna grab my arc tool. Okay, 3-point arc. I'm gonna create a arc right here. I'm gonna go there with it, and I'm gonna kind of just bring it up here. Not so much, so maybe there. um Actually, that's good. That's good. We'll leave it there for now. Gonna select that. So what I would like to do now is add a few dimensions. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my dimension tool. Gonna go from this point to this point, and I'm gonna create a dimension there of 85. Enter. Okay. I'm gonna go from this point to the bottom of the cup again. I'm gonna create a dimension here of 25. Okay. I'm gonna actually create a dimension. Gonna give this arc a radius. That radius is going to be 20. Okay, so enter. What I'd like to do is to make sure, I'm going to deselect the dimension tool for now. You can see the lines are still blue, but I want to make sure, I want to select this point here, and I want to select this line here. Okay. And I want to create a coincident there. Okay. Just to make sure that this point is coincident to that line. So still looking at a blue sketch. So I want to go here to sketch number 1, and I'm going to unhide this. I'm going to actually show sketch number 1. Okay. So I'm going to just click right on the eye, and you can see these thin lines should present themselves. I'm going to go to an isometric so we can see that better, I think. I'm going to kind of twist that around. Not sure what I'm looking at right now. Not seeing. Oh, there we go. So that's what I want to see. I'm going to open that up a little bit so you can see that. And you can see these from sketch 1. You can see the sketch lines of that offset there. So what I'm going to do is actually open that up enough for you to see that. I'm going to select that point. Okay. I'm going to select that point, and I'm going to select this broken line there. Okay. Going to create a relationship to make that coincident. Okay. So no, that's not what I wanted. Sorry. That's not what I was looking for. Sorry about that, guys. Let me redo that. Okay, so clearly I'm clicking on the wrong line. Let me turn that a little bit just so I can see exactly what I'm doing. And let's see if I can get that face to norm. I'm not able to see it as clearly as I'd like when I do it there. So I'm going to have to play with this a little bit just to get to a point where I can see those inside lines. Let's see if this will be good enough again. So I'm going to select this line. I'm going to select this curved line. Okay. Let's see if I can create a coincident relationship with that. Still not, no, that's not working correctly. So I'm going to undo that once again. Oftentimes that's the case. You have some problems. So let's go in and investigate. So guys, sometimes, yes, you have to kind of search for how to solve some of the problems you create as you move along. And so hopefully I've been able to kind of come to some solution with this. We've created the arc, we've created the handle shape. What I wanted to do was to actually see if I can create a relationship here since the lines are still blue. Um, so we're going to try this again. What I've done is uh, my original sketch was hidden at first, and I've actually clicked here so that we can see these lines. Okay. And what I want to do is create a relationship here. I'm going to click on this point and I'm going to click on this line. Okay. Right in there. I'm going to just click on that line and I wanted to make that concentric. I'm sorry, wanted to make that coincident. Okay, so we got that line, and I want to click on that point and click on this line. Okay, again, I want a coincident relationship. There we are. And you see this is still blue. So if you find this is blue still, I would say create a relationship. Make sure that this line and this arc has a tangent relationship. So let's go here, click on tangent. As you can see, it's now turned black and it is fully defined. And that's what we were looking for this sketch. Okay, so I've named this sketch the path. Okay, so I'm going to click here. I'm happy with that. Okay, so guys, the next the next activity we want to create is we want to learn how to create a plane. And a plane gives us another view to draw and sketch upon. So we're just going to go here. I'm going to click on planes. Okay. I'm going to create a curve point plane and the entity that I'm going to create that plane. And let me just put this in the isometric. Okay. Give you an isometric view. I'm going to flip this around and I'm going to open this up for you. So I want to create that plane and the entities would be, I want to create a plane that I can sketch upon and the entity would be this line. Okay. And that's the edge of the path. And then I want to I'm going to click on this point, which is the vertex. Okay. In the vertex of the path. So you can see if I flip this around, there's a plane that has presented itself right here. And that's going to be my plane 1, which will allow me to create a profile using this plane. Okay. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and click the green check, and you can see that plane exists there. Okay, there it is right there, plane one. And over in the feature tree, you can see it as plane one. If I highlight it, you can see it highlights there as plane one. Okay, so let's go further. And what we're going to do is, excuse me, I'm going to create another sketch. Okay, and I'm going to click sketch. And for the plane, I'm going to go here. Plane one is where I want to create that sketch. Okay. And what I'm attempting to do is I'm going to create a sketch. I'm going to try to sketch on this origin. Okay. So I'm going to kind of tilt it here so you can see that. And I'm going to use that point. I'm going to go normal to that plane. Okay. Sorry, guys. I want to actually tilt it up this way so you can see it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide the cup right now. It seems to get in the way a little bit. Okay. So we're really looking at this origin right there. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my ellipse tool. Okay, I'm going to select that ellipse. I'm going to come right here to the origin. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to pull out, click there, and then I'm going to click here. Okay, so I'm trying to, at this point, because I'm going to eventually use my sweep tool, I actually need to create a profile in order to use that sweep tool. So I'm just going to add a couple of dimensions here, and I'm going to add a dimension here, side to side. Make sure that is doing the kind of width of that. And I'm going to just make that 14. Okay, enter. Okay, and if you need to open it up a little bit, just open it up. And I'm just going to click again. I want to get the height of that. Okay. Oh, sorry, didn't quite get that. So I'm going to go here, make sure it's highlighted, and then I'm going to get the height of that. I'm going to make the height of that 10. Okay, enter. And this is what we have right here, guys. It's fully defined. Okay, and I'm happy with that profile. I'm going to just kind of move that up a little bit so you can see it. So I'm happy with that profile there. So I'm going to select the green box. Okay. But before I do that, I'm going to name this profile. Okay. So that'll be the profile. And then I'm going to select the green box. Okay. And it shows up over here as a profile. And so let's bring our cup back. Okay. Let's bring that back so we can see it. And that profile is actually in here. If I show you, there it is, highlighted. That is the profile for my sweep. Okay, so I'm going to now kind of turn that again so you can see the profile there. Here's my handle there. So want to select my sweep tool at this point. Okay, we will be adding, okay, we'll be adding a component. It's not a new. Select faces. Okay, so to select faces, we want to select our profile. Okay, see that profile? See how it highlights in there when you do that? So I would come here, select profile. Okay, and as the path, we're going to go here, we're going to select our path. Okay, and I'm going to select path. And as you can see, guys, my handle appears there. Okay. So this is going to be an activity that you'll have to practice, because I guarantee you it won't always work the first time. You know, sometimes you'll have to go back and kind of work with it until you actually perfect um, actually perfect using the proper procedures to make this happen. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Okay, and I'm good with that sweep, so I'm gonna click on that. Okay, guys, here's our handle to our cup. So again, this takes some practice. I can assure you that. Okay, so just make sure you keep that in mind. So, guys, I want to do a couple more things, couple more components to complete this drawing. So I'm going to hit F to normal. The next step, I want to actually hollow this out. In order to do that, I'm going to use a revolve tool. Okay, so we've used the revolve tool before, but in this case, we're going to be using the revolve tool as a means of removing some of the material. So let's get started with that. At this point, guys, we don't need some of these planes to be visible. So I'm gonna hide that plane. I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna hide the right plane. I'm gonna hide the front plane. Gonna hide the top plane. Okay, we don't need all of that right now. So I'm going to at this point going to even hide the gonna hide the cup for now, guys. And I'm gonna click on my revolve tool. Okay. So this time we're actually removing something. Okay. And faces and sketch to remove. I'm gonna actually remove that face there. Just that one face. Okay. I'm going to click on axis. The axis is actually going to be the construction line. And we see this presents itself. Okay, so merge scope. I'm going to select part one. Okay, as my merge scope. I'm sorry. I'm going to select. I'm sorry. I meant to click in here first. Merge scope. I'm going to select part one. Okay, and so I think I'm pretty good with that. Okay, so I'm going to conduct that revolve at this point. Okay, and I'm going to make my cup visible, and you can see, guys, that that revolve has actually hollowed that cup out. So now what we see is a pretty good rendition of our coffee cup. Okay, guys, so just a couple more steps. So, guys, let's complete this by giving this cup a slight fillet so that the edges are not sharp there. So I'm just going to click on my fillet tool, and I'm going to first of all I'm going to look at a 12 millimeter fillet on the bottom here. I'm just going to select the bottom. Okay, and I think that's 12 millimeter fillet on the bottom. Let me enter. Okay. Um, Sorry, guys. I meant to actually let me go back in to fillet one. I'm going to edit fillet one. Still 12 millimeters, but before I leave there, I want to go inside and I'm going to open it up a little bit. I'm going to select this inside line right here. Okay. And inside fillet there. Okay, great, great, great. Everything looks good so far. Okay, and I'm going to Click the green check for that fillet. Okay. Um, and yep, that looks good so far. Let me take a slight look. Yep, guys, I'm pretty happy with that. So let me bring this in view so we can see it. And then I want to actually use my fillet tool once again. And this time I'm going to fill it. Going to fill it. If I can grab it, I'm going to kind of fill it both. This line. Sorry, guys. Sorry. That's not what I want to do. I want to make that a 2 millimeter fillet. Okay. Enter. Okay. And then I'm going to get this line as well. And I'm going to create a fillet there. And so I should be okay with that. So I'm going to look at that. And yes. So there we are, guys. I have my coffee cup. I'm going to actually assign a material to this. So I'm going to right click on part 1, assign material. I'm going to assign porcelain material to that. So I'm just going to start putting in porcelain. And there it is. Assign that porcelain. And I'm going to click the green check, guys. And let me check my mask properties here and see if I'm on course. And I think if I'm correct, the mass properties value should be 0.574 kilograms. Okay, using the porcelain material, you should have 0.574 kilogram, guys, and your part is complete. Okay, so thank you once again. Get in, practice. Practice doesn't necessarily make perfect, but it does make better. Take care, guys.